Among the bustling streets and teeming docks of Tudor London, just west of the Tower of London, a baby boy was baptised in the ancient Gothic church of St Dunstan's in the east. He had entered the world on the 13th of July, 1527, at exactly 4:02 p.m. No state birth certificate or church parish registry marks his arrival. His entry into history exists solely because he would later calculate his own birth, down to the precise, cosmic minute. His mother, Jane Wilde, was just 17. The daughter of William Wilde, hailing from a respectable family with strong social connections, had married his father, Roland D., just 2 years earlier. Roland was a moderately successful textiles merchant, living in the Tower Ward area of London. Originally from the Radnorshire border in Wales, Roland was from a yeoman class family heritage. They owned and raised cattle and other livestock, well placed within the rural Welsh middle class. But the D family seemed to possess a fierce ambition, and following the blueprint of his successful first cousin, Hugh D., who had risen to become a member of Parliament and an agent of Henry VIII's break from Rome, Roland D. managed to claw his way into the capital city. Though Jane would give birth to 5 children in total, the brutality of Tudor infant mortality would sweep throughout the D household, leaving their eldest son as their only surviving child. As the solitary heir was left standing to inherit the family's wealth, his cousin's political legacy, and his parents' dynastic dreams, they decided to pour every ounce of their resources into his education. It was a desperate investment designed to transform the son of a cattle farming bloodline into an intellectual giant, a boy destined to conquer the academic world, shape Western occultism, and lay the very foundations for what he would later claim as a birthright from King Arthur himself, the British Empire. This boy's name was John Dee. Claiming a prestigious pedigree that he would personally map back to the ancient princes of Gwynedd, Dee weaponized his lineage to gain leverage at court. He believed the celestial bodies had convened to impel him to greatness, but the Martian influence at the exact second of his birth suggested a darker fate. This greatness would be mirrored in sadness. The heavens were implicit in the personality of Tudor England. Science and religion existed under a singular absolute truth. The cosmos was geocentric. The Earth sat dead center and motionless, and wrapped around it, the planetary spheres were stacked one on top of the other, like a celestial Russian doll. This cozy clockwork universe, where every mile was measured and every star had a purpose, would completely define the formative years of young John. At just 8 years old, in 1535, John Dee was packed up and shipped off to the Essex countryside by his parents. His mission: to begin a grueling, disciplined tutelage under the watchful observation of Catholic priests at the Chelmsford Chantry School. It was quite a toll for a boy of his age, a toll magnified by the alien nature of the world that he was about to step into, a domain of heavy ecclesiastical ambience. Latin was the mother tongue of this place, and strict Catholic observance was its very body. Any divergence, be it a misuttering of English rather than Latin, or a slight reluctance to follow a priest's demands, was swiftly and brutally corrected by the cane. Although many children shuffled into this archaic prison would have felt deeply aggrieved, Dee was different. He may have actually relished the opportunity, for within the quiet stone walls of the Chantry's library lay a secret world, shelves lined with old Latin tomes filled with obscure lore and forgotten natural sciences. But while John was locked away in his Latin exile, his father's world back in London was exploding with power. By 1541, royal tax assessments rated Roland Dee as worth a staggering £100, a fortune that firmly secured the family's rise into the elite gentry. Roland had followed his kinsman straight into the inner sanctum of the court, becoming a sworn sewer of the chamber to King Henry VIII. This was no mere administrative title. Roland physically controlled the stage of royal power, superintending the table arrangements, seating the highest nobles in Europe, and serving the dishes at King Henry's lengthy feasts. This coveted position granted Roland intense, close personal access to Henry VIII, offering lucrative opportunities for high-level influence. Standing at the royal table, Roland operated alongside incredibly useful contacts, including a fellow servant named Richard Cecil. It was an alliance forged in the banquet halls that would later alter history, for it was Richard's brilliant son, William Cecil, that John Dee would repeatedly turn to shield his life and fund his future empire. When the 15-year-old John Dee finally packed his books and made the long journey home in 1542, he did not return to a simple merchant's house. Through his father's intimate proximity to the king's person, young John was granted unprecedented access to the Tudor court. King Henry's major palaces, Hampton Court, Greenwich, and Westminster, provided an overwhelming backdrop of immense wealth and luxury. They were stuffed with costly tapestries, embroidered hangings, mechanical clocks, and maps of the world. It was here, walking through the outer galleries as his father's prospective heir, that the teenage John experienced his very first encounters with celestial and terrestrial globes, and also the precise brass geometry of the astronomical astrolabes. It is here he became transfixed by the court's secret sciences. He studied the designs of the king's legendary astronomer, Nicholas Kratzer, and watched in awe as the king's alchemists manufactured the essential alchemical oils and tinctures required to keep the king's decaying body alive. John was no longer just a schoolboy. His mind had been set on fire by the wealth of the realm and the clockwork layout of the skies. Armed with a solid education, his father's wealth, and a burning desire for the sciences, Dee prepared for his next great hurdle, the interview for admittance to St. John's College in Cambridge. Relying on his absolute mastery over the Latin language that he had forged during his years in exile, the boy stepped forward. Standing within the cold stone halls of St. John's, surrounded by intimidating academic judges, Dee stunned the college fellows with his articulation and effortless fluency. In November of 1542, At just 15 years old, John Dee was officially admitted into St. John's College. The gates had opened. His journey into the cosmos had truly begun. But Cambridge was not the safe haven of science that John expected. In the next episode, we witness a brutal 18-hour study lockdown that nearly broke him, and a mechanical illusion that terrified his peers, branding him forever as a demonic conjurer. This has been the Arcane Lantern. Until next time, keep your lights burning.